Let's talk a little bit now about other workplaces and join LBC's Rachel Venables, who's outside a bus depot in Brentford, which is in West London. Rachel.
There's a lot at stake in getting all of this right, Nick. Yesterday, of course, we heard how male bus, coach and taxi drivers were 2 to 3 times more likely to die from COVID-19. And now from tomorrow, it's feared even more people will be boarding buses like the ones which have been rumbling in and out of this depot all morning. They'll also be getting onto trains and trams as we're encouraged to go back to work if we can't work from home, avoiding public transport if possible, with the government publishing guidance at some point later today on making that safer for passengers and staff. Now, just before the news, you asked Health Secretary Matt Hancock, how on earth can you make a bus or train carriage COVID secure?
It is very difficult, but the most important thing we can do to reduce risk is have fewer people in them. So people should only use public transport if they absolutely have to. They should essentially save public transport for the people who really need it, because the fewer people that there are in a carriage, the safer it is, because the space is bigger and there's obviously fewer people to who are in there, and so that's but we can't just shuttle public transport, because some people absolutely rely on it to get to work. So it's a matter of spacing out travel time so that there isn't a rush hour in the same way, and saving public transport people who really need it.
But bus drivers have been telling LBC much more needs to be done.
Furious with Boris Johnson at the minute. No strategy. Took too long to put in place a lockdown. A proper lockdown would have been shutting airports, shutting the transport system, and really getting grips with this virus.
Yesterday I had about 30 young adults getting on my bus. Some of them were drunk. I was really scared and frightened. I'm scared they might pass the virus on me, as there's no 2 meters distance.
At the end of each duty, myself and my colleagues, we compare how many passengers we've been picking up. The numbers are just going up and up and up.
Now the lockdown is beginning to be lifted, and still the death rate is too high. I'm scared for myself, my family and my colleagues.
Transport for London's failed because there's no guidelines. Put in at least reducing the maximum capacity. That's what we need. We need to reduce the maximum capacity for the safety of us.
And just leave you with the idea of the scale of the challenge here, Nick. Transport for London say in order to keep people safe 2 meters apart, they have to cut normal passenger numbers down to 13 to 15.